Welcome back, everyone. Playing Battle Brothers on Veteran difficulty, Veteran combat. Iron Man mode is turned off. Fog of War is turned on. Here we have me versus my company versus 13 Undead. I've lost quite a few men already. I've lost 2, which is not a lot. When you're scum saving like myself, you're not going to lose a lot of guys. But I never would have got to this point had I not scum saved. I'll get straight to the point, even though I haven't already. My company here is going to party wipe, and I'm going to let it happen. I was going well at the beginning with my mercenary company, and then it began to just stagnate. And not much was going on after about day 20. It really began to stagnate. I wasn't reaching my goal of hiring a person to stay at my camp, a non-combatant, to stay at my camp and handle the camp's necessities that need to be maintained and dealt with. I was thinking about hiring the cook, but I just couldn't find enough armor quick enough, so I kept investing in armor instead of saving my money. Big mistake. I had my goal set to hire someone and I didn't do it. It would have made my men euphoric. Maybe I would have won this combat had they been euphoric. Because once you set a goal, you got to do it quickly. If you don't get your goal done in a timely manner, it begins to stagnate and your company's morale begins to fall. And you need to get that euphoric mood going. They were close, but they were just in the good mood. But then it sours quickly because their fellow combatants around them begin to die, morale begins to fade, the entire team gets wiped. And let me tell you what, Undead in the game Battle Brothers, did you see that? Let me just do a rewind there for a second. This is the beginning of the combat. Right here, you're gonna see it. Check it out on your left side there. Okay. I hope that was legible. Now here we've got the Undead battle going. It's 8 versus 13. Oh yes, and Undead in this game have necromancers that buff them and keep them occupied. Now, one thing I do not know is what the necromancer is doing. He picks one of his undead soldiers, an undead soldier that he has chosen, and buffs them, and you can see the buff right above their head, and I'm not even sure what it's doing. Maybe there's something I need to do to that certain undead. Maybe if I destroy that undead, it'll destroy the necromancer and I win. I don't know. Anybody can let me know in the comments what you think about this combat. Mistakes that I make. There's the necromancer. Very vicious animal. You see that undead now has been buffed. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to avoid that, destroy it, try to destroy it all at once. Has anybody ever fought one of those before and killed it right away? Does it destroy the necromancer? That'd be kind of cool. Because your goal is to go over there and destroy that necromancer as soon as possible, but you gotta run around. It's kind of like American football where you gotta run around and get the quarterback. It's kind of like American football, you know what I'm saying? Where you gotta run around and get the quarterback, in which case it's a necromancer who has now gone invisible. Very clever necromancer. Now I wonder if you can get necromancers on your company team. I wonder if you can ever get that done. Hire them maybe. I haven't seen it yet. It would be nice. But I don't think you can have any wizards or sorcerer type builds in this game, but you can have fire walls, but you got to invest at the alchemy store actual like flasks that will break, made of clay Then they explode, and then it causes fire for a couple turns. You can craft them if you got the right goods, or you can purchase them in the desert sands, towns over there near the seashores and stuff like that. Karakin, I think is the name of the town. Switching to the sling, that's all I got. I couldn't find a bow. I didn't have the funds to purchase a bow. You know what, too? Is some of my hires, I should have invested in the more expensive hires. I went for the cheaper ones. Sometimes you get a good one. Like one of my one of my company hires, who then, you hire them and they become a permanent member of your team. You pay them on a daily basis. It was like $50 and $5 a day. I can't remember which one it is. And then there were some that were like $500 and $15 a day. And then there were some that were in the thousands, but then you get to level them up a couple levels. That's what you need to go for. But first you need to get somebody at your camp, like a cook or a cartographer or a scout. And I just didn't get that. I should have had a much better company. Things just didn't go my way. Bad luck, bad choices, scum saving, all led to this mercenary company here just not having the right builds, not having the right synergy. That's the word I'm looking for, not having the right synergy. This company just doesn't have the right synergy. So I'm gonna be starting over a new campaign with the same parameters as I always do. Exactly the same, but with a different scenario. I may go lone wolf. I may go occultist. I may go the desert nomad one, where you're basically beginning with some pretty powerful gear, I believe. That's a pretty good choice if you want to start out one. Now, the new company that I started out here had just basically starting out gear. It's basically you're doing the tutorial, but without the tutorial. It's basically the same thing. And I believe, and it's random endgame. And I believe the random endgame here is undead. And undead are vicious because they just keep respawning. Even without a necromancer, they don't even need one. They just keep, you kill them and then they respawn and they wake up again, and then they're just a little less powerful. One of my team members just died. You heard him. The undead, they just keep rising even after you knock them down, and they get back up again. And they're not as powerful the second time or the third or the fourth time, but then they just keep getting up again. And you keep having to knock them down and beat them out of your way. Because if you don't, they're going to smack you in the face. It's not fun. It's 7 versus 13. You see it. See, they just keep rising. Even if you knock them down, they just keep coming back. Even if you knock them down, they just keep a-coming back. Undead are the most vicious creature, monster, animal, whatever you'd like to call them. Undead are the most vicious in this game, next to the spiders. But there could be more. I've only scratched the surface of the different types of monsters that are available to be fought against. It's gonna get ugly soon. 7 versus 13. How are you enjoying the video? Fighting undead is not fun. I did a random end game, and I believe the end game is going to be undead for this campaign, and I'm not happy about it. But you never know. I'm only on like day 30-ish, so I'm not really that far in. But the first 15 days went well, and then it just started to stagnate. And I picked my goal and didn't do it quickly enough. I think I picked my battles okay. But this team of party members, like I said, their synergy just isn't working out well. It's just not there. Here, I'm taking another break here just real quick, assessing the situation, thinking, how am I going to win this? It's similar to chess. Sometimes you take a while to make your move. What are you going to do, you know? What are you going to do? And I'm knowing right here it's all over. I've already told myself, yeah, I'll just play it out, see what happens. See if I can get any help. Let people ask the folks out there who play this game, what mistakes did I make? Being brand new to this game, I've only played this game about a month now. About 30 days I played this game or so. And I'm not good at all. I'm not good. I'm not good enough to understand that I am making mistakes, and I don't even know the mistakes that I'm making yet. It's just a really tough game. I'm thinking I don't have enough sword and boards, or maybe I have too many archers. But that just goes from picking the people you hire. Sometimes you can make a hireling that may want to be a sword and board, an archer, or vice versa. Maybe you should make them a sword and board. Because let me tell you what, I do have enough hours in this game under my belt, and I have had enough mercenary company fall in battle to know that my archers and my crossbow archers, my bow archers and my crossbow archers, die more than any other all the time. On average, they're the ones that are going to die first, and it wrecks the team. So I'm thinking that even if I have a hireling that would prefer to be an archer, I'm going to make them a sword and board anyway, and level them up accordingly, because I think it would be more beneficial and just have one dedicated archer, or maybe even just two, I would say. Two dedicated archers. And that's it. I believe I've gone through, I think I have like 5 archers and 1 thrower. Yeah, it's just not working out. Not enough sword and board, and I don't even have a strong guy. A guy that just goes around and wields a two-hander. Couldn't find one. Even the one that the game provided for me, I made him a sword and board because he just wasn't powerful enough to be a two-hander. The two-hander strong guy, the one that you find that just goes around with and wallops around with no board in hand, no shield in hand, those are the ones you want to keep alive. Those are the ones, those are your anchors. And I couldn't find one. If you can get a good mercenary who is a two-handed user, and I'm not talking one that has the reach. If you can get a polearm mace, now that's different. I'm talking the ones that have like the big giant two-handed axes. The giant two-handed falcons, or falchions. Some people like to say falchion, some people say falcon, I don't know. Where you have to be right up there, nose to nose, toe to toe against your foe, but you just wallop and cut them in half in just one swing. Or like a two-handed longsword, you know? A two-handed longsword is fun too. I never found one. You get yourself a two-handed longsword or even a katana. I found katanas. They got katanas. You can get one of those. They chop heads off and chop your foes in half in just one cleave a lot. And I couldn't find a guy to do that. I couldn't find a two-handed guy in my mercenary company to do that. And it's important that you get one of them. Because if you have just all sword and boards, it's not going to work. I got all sword and boards and archers. Where's my two-handed guy? That's why this mercenary company team failed. You need the one anchor that just wraps everyone up and synergizes the whole team. And this team just this team never accomplished that. It never happened. And that just goes with just playing. And that's just luck of the draw. Uh-oh. Ah! Heads flying across the floor. Let's do some close-ups here. Get into the action. I'm really trying, but then I don't even have enough stamina to move after I bring them down. And then they just keep rising. Undead are almost too powerful for this game. Oh, did you see that? Undead are almost too viciously powerful for this game. But the game tells you that. The game tells you that this game is going to be tough. We're retreating. We're not scum saving. We're retreating. All right. They're doing their moves. They're thinking about their moves. Here it is. The last one on the team. Gonna try to go home and tell everyone just what happened here. Gotta go home and tell everyone what happened here. Gotta try to... Oh no. Oh no! Oh, it's over! Meanrad. Eckbert the Berserker. Werner. Hacken Swordboard. Conrad Crossbow. Rumold. Manfred. Leaf, my thrower. You can name your company, you can give them titles. This is the end of this company. It was a good run. As the pain seizes your body, you simply let the corporal world go, retreating into your mind, barricading yourself there, desperately seeking any good reason for why you chose this life. Because it seems readily obvious now that the life you chose also chose your death. $35 points is what I accumulated. I believe it was around day 30-ish or so. And that's the end. Have a good day, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. You want to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Really helps me out. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Good luck in your Battle Brothers campaigns.